This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Janice Smith.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Are you in need of an aerial arts cross-training facility? One might be closer than you think. Today I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Jill and Rosie, with Cohesive Movement Center. How's it going, girl?
Wonderful. How are you today?
How are you?
We're good. I'm just excited you guys are here.
We're excited to
I
be
can't wait
here.
to know about it. So we're excited to learn about your business. Tell us about your company.
Our company is called Cohesive Movement Center. We are an aerial arts cross-training center, basically. We are training all kinds of different people, genres, walks of life with regard to their aerial journey, whether you're a beginner all the way up into being an advanced aerialist. We don't do just pole dancing. We also do lyra. We have silks, and we also have bungee fitness. Yep. We also have an on-site gym. So for anyone who just wants gym access, we did that because a lot of our spouses and partners would like to be able to come with us. So like while we're working out as aerialists, our partners can also be here working out at the same time. So we wanted to add a component that basically plays into that sort of family unity feel as well in our space. And we also have a nonprofit that goes along with us, and that is called From the Ground Up.
And we are athletes helping athletes.
We're athletes helping athletes. Yes. Yep. And our From the Ground Up is post-hab, prehab for injury prevention. So that is kind of the gamut of what we are up to.
Well, that sounds exciting. And you said it's pole dancing? You mentioned pole dancing?
I did.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yes.
Okay. So how did you guys get into this business?
Both of us have been dancers, classically trained dancers our whole lives. I found aerial arts in late 2015, like 2016, I believe. And I found out that I could also still compete as an artist and as a competitive dancer. It was important to me to get back to that because it helps to drive me. So from there, I actually started building coaching programs. So I also coach competitors and professionals for competitions, which is actually very vast. It's just that no one really knows about this world, but there are worldwide pole competitions all over the place. So we train groups and teams to go to those events.
Yeah. And she actually was my instructor.
I was the instructor.
So when I got into the pole fitness world, I, on the other hand, are more into the bungee fitness, dance, silks, lyra, and working with kids is something we both also did that we're going to be doing.
We're going to be reintroducing a youth program as well in our area because we think it's so important. I used to teach toddlers and kids, and the best thing about kids is that they are fearless. So they're amazing to work with in this vicinity of learning something completely different. We work with a lot of youth people that are in the horse world. Yeah. And it also helps them with what they're doing, dressage, riding, jumping, learning how to not be scared of being in the air.
Yeah.
Wow. That's exciting. That is truly exciting. So who are your target customers and how do you attract them?
Our target customers are going to be really anybody. Yeah. We are an all-inclusive facility.
Yes.
So we are not here to judge. There are many walks of life that come into the aerial world from different facets of life. So we are a truly all-inclusive space, all ages. I've trained women in their 70s for pole. We love kids. We have men that train with us. Yeah. Obviously, we have definitely females. We run women's empowerment groups as well, helping to build confidence. And we run menopause programs as well.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's from the facility, or is this another extension? I'm just curious.
Nope, this is all part of what we do.
All part, yeah. And work with a lot of.
I'm sorry.
We're working with doing post-hab injured athletes, injured people, it's a way of bringing back core stabilization too for people doing aerial work.
So how do you attract them? Do you go to like medical facilities? How do you?
Well, we've had different aspects. I mean, honestly, right now it's been word of mouth. I'm coming out of the medical world, and we have this big thing on privacy is pretty much why we got into this with membership based. No one for 5-6 years even knew that I did anything aerial because I don't share it with people. And in my medical contracts, I'm very private.
You were limited.
I was very limited as well. And so it's been word of mouth. We are now out there in the world of social media. And it's been very promising. People are
we're gaining traction in the social media world, using both of our professional and personal platforms as well. And the key component to our business is that it is a members only. So it is basically a VIP experience. Yes. You can't just walk in our door, and we don't have a class-based system. We do offer foundational training, which is a recurring 6-week foundational training basis to help everyone from beginner to advanced yet again. But for us, it was really important. Privacy is very important to a lot of people in our age category as well. There's a lot of people in the medical field, a lot of people in the legal field. As an instructor teaching in other studios here, I found that was actually something that was missing. And we thought that was going to be very important to our concept.
And we have a lot of professionals in the aerial world and different professional athletes that we work with that want that privacy. And it is a big thing. It's a big part of our method, our concept.
I'm just curious, why do you think privacy is so important in the industry? Is it that people don't want people to know, like, oh, I do pole dancing or I take that class? I'm just curious. Why do you think privacy is so important, other than the health aspect, of course, with HIPAA?
A lot of people who are in those industries do have agreements with their companies, right? So somebody couldn't be, if I was teaching a class, for instance, and I was videotaping the class to put on social media, those are the particular people that would be like, I would like to not be on. And I have experienced that a lot here in this area. So we thought it would be important for people, if they want to record themselves, that's one thing. But confidentiality to us is very important.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason, is that a lot of people just want that confidentiality and a safe place to come and train on their own time.
That's awesome. So outside of work, what do you do for fun?
We do lots of stuff.
Well, I'm married, so I have a whole husband.
Not a half.
No, not a half one, just a whole one. I'm also a dog mom, and I also run another side hustle business called Radiant Custom Designs. So I actually for women's, well, not even women, just everybody. I do it for men too, but I create custom crystalling for platform heels for people who do competitions. And I also do custom work for hydro mugs and tumblers and shaker cups, and I bling them out and customize them for people.
Oh, that's awesome. You're busy.
Yeah. This was a hard question for me, because I'm like, fun? What did we were talking
That's
about?
what I was going to say.
I know. I feel so blessed, because I've been in the healthcare world forever, and I do for my patients, for everybody. But I'm blessed that the fact that I get to be with my family. I'm a very family-oriented person, so I get to be with my husband when I'm not doing anything, and he loves when my phone's off, and I get to just be with him and just go out on a date. I know this sounds crazy, but we don't really have time, and I learn to set those boundaries that I'm very proud of, and I do what I've always wanted to do from when I was a kid in dancing. I'm back sewing again. I'm doing the costumes, and that stuff is my creative side, which I didn't think I'd ever get back to,
and here she is.
I'm a multitasker, but it's very exciting, and I've learned boundary setting is extremely important. And I'm glad that I can say, and not be a hypocrite, I'm actually able to put the phone down, be with my husband and not her, because we're kind of together all the time, and actually just be with him in the moment. It's exciting. I'm learning to do that. I know this sounds crazy. This was a hard question, but I'm passionate about everything.
She truly is.
It sounds like you both are very creative with your business and the costume making. So it understands why you guys can come up with such a creative way to honestly be healthy and exercise. So that's awesome. So
Yeah.
let's switch gears a bit. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Let's switch gear a bit. Can you describe a hardship or life challenge you overcame that made you stronger? What comes to mind?
You want to go first? Okay.
For me, I'm a corporate girly, so I have always had a corporate job. Dancing, teaching dancing, being a coach was always a part-time job. About 2 years ago now, I actually lost my corporate job. I worked for the largest bank in the country for 15 plus years. And unfortunately, due to the economy, I no longer had a position there. So I had to make some pretty tough decisions on whether or not I was going to try to get back into the banking industry, or if I was going to allow this passion of mine to actually flourish and bloom. And I took very many certifications. I had been coaching prior to that and building coaching programs anyways. So thankfully, I have a very supportive husband who basically gave me the green light, and he said, this is kind of what you're meant to do. So that hardship of coming from a very prominent corporate background to taking that leap of faith of coming into this fully, wholeheartedly, very passionately was a crazy right turn.
Yeah. And myself, I've been in the medical world for almost about 30 years now, and it's a whole other topic we could talk about, but I'll be nice about it. The healthcare system's kind of broken, and all I've ever done was that and then dance. And I just had this passion that I wanted. I've had over 5 different offices. I've done great. I've been successful, but I wasn't the happiest. And when I came back into the aerial world, my husband's like, do what you love. And I was like, how am I going to do that? I'm a little bit older and I'm a technological, I'm challenged. And this one is a guru. So just that right there was like, I'm like, well, I could start a business, but I don't know how to do it. I know how to do all this. But so us together has been such a ignited force of, my husband 1000% was like, I see you doing this. And I was like, but I don't know how to do this. And just us together, how it happened, it's just, it was meant to be. The universe put us together.
It was very organic for us.
Yeah, very organic. And that's kind of what we want for our members. We're starting to see the people that have signed up. It's all been organic in a way. I have to say, it hasn't been us paying for all this social media or paying people. We have been so blessed with the genuine people that have come because we are vetting them. We're not just accepting anyone in the door. And the people we've had so far, we're so blessed. So
that's awesome. It's nice to love who you work with, right? I mean, that's
she's stuck with me.
Both of our husbands are like, this is your other marriage, basically. So
okay.
Well, that's awesome. So Jill and Rosie, please tell our listeners one thing they should remember about Cohesive Movement Center.
One big thing that we really stand on is that anyone who walks through our door is an athlete.
Exactly.
We train athletes. No matter what walk of life you're coming from, we work from people who are pole enthusiasts. We work with people who work in clubs, all kinds of different in between all of those, boundaries. For me, the main thing as a coach, as a dance coach, is that anyone I train is changing the mentality to an athlete mentality.
Exactly.
It's awesome. So how can our listeners learn more about Cohesive Movement Center?
Yeah, so we are on Instagram, and I'm going to give that to you because I wrote it down. It's
cohesive _movement_center. And that's our Instagram handle for Instagram.
And our website is www.cohesivemovementcenter.com. I did it.
You did it. Nice job.
Yes. Well, Jill and Rosie, I really appreciate you being on the show. We wish you and your business the best moving forward.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. We really
thanks for having
appreciate
us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnppalmbeach.com. That's gnppalmbeach.com. Or call 561-783-8999.